Back in the building, fam, with another video. Now, I know everybody out there is still talking about the verdict that happened the other day with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. I'm going to be speaking about that in a separate video. But this is for all of those people who got something to say, talking bad about men, talking all of this nonsense since this verdict came out. So I want those people just to settle down a little bit. But what we're going to be talking about is how disturbed mentally a lot of these women are out here. The fellas, you got to be very careful. And a lot of these women that go out here acting like they're Mother Teresa. But in this story, this woman is far from Mother Teresa. So the woman that you're looking at right now is some Onlyfans thotty who went out here and made a mess of things, for real, for real. So I'm going to share with you guys a video, and then I'm going to come back and talk about it so you guys understand a little bit more about what this woman actually did. Without further ado, let's get into it. Shout out to all my day one subscribers. Shout out to everybody who's been joining the fam of late. I appreciate all the love. Feel free to follow me on the other social media platforms that you see down there in the description box for more realness. Let's get it.
And it's hard to not have your stomach turn reading it. In the arrest report, JSO officers that responded detailed that the baby's ribs were protruding from its body with its stomach caved in. And in the arrest report, it also says that medical officials noted the baby was extremely malnourished, weighing just around 7 pounds. And for some comparison and context, according to the CDC, the average weight of a 5-month-old boy is typically around 16 pounds, over double of that. The arrest report says, upon investigation, JSO was also given surveillance video showing McGowan abusing this 5-month-old boy, hitting him repeatedly, among other acts, in the clubhouse of her apartment complex just days before the child's death. Action News Jax's law and safety expert Dale Carson is a former FBI agent and police officer with decades of experience. He says this report paints the picture of a woman incapable of controlling her emotions.
Clearly, the behavior of the mother in this case is, well, it's tragic is what it is. I mean, it clearly is someone who has no ability to control her emotions, no impulse control.
Tania McGowan in Jacksonville took to social media after the incident, posting photos of what appears to be her now deceased child, saying the hospital still wouldn't tell her what happened. According to the arrest papers, McGowan also told investigators the baby had never been taken to the doctors after his birth, something Carson says is typical and usually intentional in the case of an abused or neglected child.
If a child had been in medical care, clearly they would have foreseen what the prognosis might have been if the child wasn't properly cared for, and they are obligated under the law to contact law enforcement and to disclose these issues.
Carson says in a case like this, with the alleged combination of neglect and abuse ending in the death of a child, that typically carries up to 30 years in prison. Carson also noted the fact that the abuse was memorialized, as he called it, or caught on video. A court would be more likely to go for the maximum sentence if there is a conviction. But he says cases like this don't typically go to trial. Instead, they typically end in plea deal agreements. For local coverage you could count on, live from the north side of Jacksonville, Logan MacDonald, Action.
So you guys heard the story right there for yourself. And you got to ask yourself, what type of woman would do something like this? And a lot of these women, they are so mentally just not there, you have no idea. This woman was 23 years old, mother down there in Florida, right? The child was 5 months old, and now they have her locked up, but she is being held on $500,000 bond for child abuse, and then another $1 million for child neglect. Now, when police did their investigation, they went to the house, and they also found out there that the child used to live with his father. Now, I'm going to touch upon that in a second. Now, they did a check on her phone, and they found pictures of her son as he regressed in health down to the size that you saw there in the video. She admitted to cops that she noticed that the child was slimming down, but thought it was just that way naturally because he was growing in length. There is no way that child was getting fed. Now, this mother even went to other lengths to where she was just doing bad things the whole time. And this is what our justice system does. Our justice system is too quick to give children to mentally ill women. And a lot of these women, like I said, they are so disturbed and you guys have no idea. But that's the reason why I bring you this. Now, of course, this is not all women that are out here doing it. I don't want to paint that picture. But a lot of these women, they just got issues. So she was also caught on surveillance, slamming the child against furniture, putting blankets over the child's head, and continuously hitting the child. Now, when you look into the story, you're going to find things that are just unbearable to even be able to read because of how she treated this child. But it was also said, too, that the child used to live with the father. And then the father decided that he wanted to get away from this woman. And back in October, the court awarded the child to the mother. So the father was going on his way to Texas. And one of these days, our justice system is going to start looking into these family court issues and saying, hold up, not so fast, that these children should automatically be placed with the mother. So I say all of that to say this. What do you think happened when the father decided he wanted to get away from this woman, take his child with him to Texas, but then the court awards the mother the child? What do you think would make her go so ballistic like this, go so far to be able to hurt her own child? She resented the fact that that man left her. And I guarantee you this, that woman looked at that baby and saw that man that left her because more than likely she was demonstrating characteristics that he wanted to remove himself from. So she basically took out all that venom that she had for this man on that child. And that's what a lot of these women do. A lot of these women, when they see their child, you would think that that's their baby. They should love that baby unconditionally and be the traditional mothers that we hope our children are raised by. But some of these women, they get so envious and so in their feelings about the fact that they no longer have that man due to their own actions, that they take that venom, that frustration out on that child. So to all you women out there who are rejoicing in this Tory Lanez moment, understand this. I know that you're out there, and a lot of other people know exactly what some of you women are capable of. But we really got to get to a point to where we understand the children are not always safe with some of these mothers because these mothers got issues. Until next time, fellas, I'm out. Choose wisely. Peace.